I'm not gonna lie, bruh. The way they started off this movie really pissed me off. Because what do you mean we're starting off with Loak and Neteyam flying with each other? I low-key thought it was a flashback, but no, I was sadly mistaken. The director doing everything in their power to make sure I'm emotionally abused. What the hell is wrong with you? I'ma let it slide for this one time, but don't let it happen again. But after they're done flying with each other, they land, and Neteyam asks Loak the big question. He asks him, how did he die? And I know for a fact Loak looked at him and got straight PTSD immediately. And he tells him that he got shot because of the fact that they went back for Spider. And this is what Neteyam says.
We have to go back. That's not your fault.
Spoken like a true big brother. And if I still get any comments talking about it was Loak's fault, dog, I said it before, I'ma say it again, jump. But before I can move on, some people have a problem with this movie because of this scene and similar ones in this movie. Because of the fact that the Na'vi people are able to talk to their dead families, it makes it seem like there are no stakes or consequences after you die. And yes, that may seem the case, but to me it seems as if it could expand the story more to where if Jake were to die, Loak could legit just go to him and ask for advice. And after that, I'ma just play this scene real quick, and I want y'all to comment what vibe this is giving, and I'ma just comment on it later on. And we cut to Jake collecting weapons from the sunken boat to prepare themselves for when the sky people return. But as we can see, he's not doing this by himself because Loak and his girl are out here doing that as well. And they end up finding Neytiri's bow. And when he brings it up to Jake, Jake ends up saying that he's supposed to be collecting guns. This thing is useless. Now I know, Jake, bringing a bow to a gunfight is kind of stupid, but this is your wife's bow. Like, bro, have some respect, please. And in the last movie, you literally said to your son, I see you, and proceed to act like this in the next movie. Like, bro, they got your ass on camera. This is 4K. How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
And when they bring back the weapons, the Na'vi people are just not messing with it. They strictly prohibit metal weapons. And the chief is out here asking him to ride to work again so that the people can be united. And this man Jake says one of the corniest things he's ever said in all 3 movies.
When you ride the beast, you become the beast.
What the f*** are you talking about? When you ride the beast, you become the beast.
Get the fuck out of here! That shit garbage, nigga!
And he proceeds to say, I will not become Toruk Makto again. Brother, this man is straight lying.
Bro, I said, say you swear to God! Say you swear to God!
And we go to the humans, and I don't know how this man is still alive even after losing his arm. And I promise you, by the time people came to save him, he would have bled out. Like, let's just be real, he would have bled out, but they end up arguing about the fact that the colonel failed the first mission, and he storms out of there pissed. And we cut over to Jake and Neytiri arguing. Also, I thought, because 2 seconds later this man folds under zero pressure. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad husband, I'm not saying that, but hey, W mans anyway. And while everybody was sleeping, Spider's mask ends up running out of oxygen with everybody scrambling to look for it, and Neytiri just oh, look at her, bro. She doesn't give a shit. And Loak ends up finding the mask, and I bet you Neytiri's reaction was like,
what? You're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
But after that, and while they were playing with each other, the Wind Traders end up arriving. And because of this, Jake and Neytiri end up deciding that Spider goes with them to go back to his people. I guess that's what Neytiri said, not my words, guys. So that he can, you know, live, because his masks are almost done.
He will never be a part of his family.
And there is the truth. The truth finally reveals itself, because she was hiding this the entire time, but now she said it in front of her kids, by the way. She does not care. I promise you, if I was Jake, I promise you, you're not getting away with this, but I don't care. But they end up deciding that instead of Spider going on his own, that they all drop him off as a family. Yay. But while they were flying, these raiders come out of nowhere and start attacking them, with them shooting firebows at them. But Neytiri and Jake were still going crazy. She was straight getting no scopes. And don't think Jake wasn't doing anything, because he jumps down and shoots these two, but she sees this, lights one of her people on fire, and I swear I don't want to make this joke, so I'm not gonna do it, but he flies down and offs himself in the process. And while Neytiri was still trying her best, she ends up getting snuck from behind, which was a bitch move, I can't lie. And even while she was shot and injured, she still wanted the Fade going toe to toe with her. But unfortunately, Neytiri still ended up getting defeated. Oh, scary, shiver me timbers, shut up, man. You needed to sneak her just to win, I'm not counting this. But even with the entire thing going down, the kids do manage to escape. Also, I thought, because they end up getting shot down with them flying down. Bro, that was so petty. And while they were on the ground, they end up witnessing these people not only off them, but also rip off their ponytails. Brother, y'all are sick. But they end up spotting the kids and start chasing them. And while they were running, Loak ends up stumbling on the floor, turns around, and I'm not gonna lie, this was an accident, because he ends up shooting both of them down. And even with them still getting chased down, the only reason they managed to escape was with going with the water. And we cut to Jake getting caught lacking by the Colonel and ends up getting captured. But Jake ends up pleading with the Colonel to get the mask to Spider, otherwise he will die, and the Colonel ends up agreeing. What? Is bro having a change of heart? And when we cut back to the kids, bro, this scene right here further establishes why people hate Spider. You wanna know why? Because of the fact that Spider is a human and gets to be part Na'vi, gets to breathe their air. Bro, y'all are just jealous of this nigga, and I would be too. Like, I wish that was me. And as much as I do wish it was me, I'm not gonna hate Spider because of that. Like, congratulations to him. But the celebrations did not last long, because they end up getting ambushed and damn! Straight knocked the snot out of that nigga, bro. He's just a kid. Relax, bro. And while they're being held, she ends up interrogating Spider, asking him, how do you breathe right now? And Kiri, opening up her big mouth, talks about it is the will of Awa. And you said that to the wrong person. Because she puts up the knife right at his throat, asking if I were to cut him, would Awa save him? And bro, obviously the answer would be no. But she lets him go and takes Loak's gun and asks him how to use it. But just before they were about to start offing them, Jay comes out of nowhere and starts going crazy. My man was smoothing. But the Colonel comes out of nowhere, grabs her, and tells them to drop their weapons. And just when they were planning on escaping, she grabs both of their ponytails and merges with him and controls this man, making him numb. With Jake getting knocked at the back of his head. Bro, these niggas are trash. How did you fail the mission in 4 effing seconds?
Show me how to make thunder.
And in case you're wondering if he actually did teach him, yes, literally in the next shot, he is showing her how to do it. Bro, what is with this nigga, bro? Mind you, this is the same Colonel who absolutely despises the Na'vi people, who would rather die. Brother, he folded. He just folded just like that. And some of y'all might be saying, but Awaku, he was forced to do this. This was against his will. Brother, I want you to look at this scene right here. You really think this is a man who was forced to do this? He is a trained military colonel. If he really wanted to, he could pack her up in 2 effing seconds, brother. After all that yap in the past 2 movies talking to Jake about you betrayed your own kind, look where he's at right now. They got your ass on camera.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
And even after teaching her, they still end up capturing this man. Like, are you serious, my nigga? He literally taught them the worst possible thing for nothing. What was the point? But they do end up escaping because of Kiri's magical AWA powers. And when we cut to the next day, the Na'vi people end up finding Jake and the kids with the Colonel making his grand escape. And we cut to the humans. gosh. And we cut to the humans still hunting these things. And bro, you lost your arm because of this, and you still think it's a great idea to do it again. Okay, bruh. But Jake and the family end up coming back with them telling Jake that the Sky people have come back with a bigger ship and are killing more of their Tulkun. And he also tells them that Payakan, the outcast, has been stirring up the young bulls, and they must have a meeting with the elders to decide what to do with him. But I'ma just play the scene because it's so funny.
You are with child.
So peak. But they end up having their meeting with the elders of the Tulkun, and they end up deciding that Payakan may be banished forever, far from here where his songs cannot be heard. And Loak ends up trying to defend him, saying that he saved everyone and saved the chief's daughter, but Jake ends up grabbing him and taking him away.
If you hadn't disobeyed orders, and your brother would still be...
Now, Jake, you are absolutely wrong for this. You are absolutely wrong for this, bro. Of course, Loak didn't know it would happen. Of course, Loak didn't want it to happen. Jake, come on now, bro. Come on, bro. You are I don't stand with you on this point, bro. And Loak ends up running off on his own. And Neytiri and Jake end up getting in a heated argument, with Neytiri literally just showing the fact that she does not like Spider in any sort of way. And I don't want to hear anybody say that her hating Spider is valid, because Spider didn't kill anybody in her family. Spider has done nothing to harm her family, alright? So y'all keep quiet. And I know some of y'all have been expecting me to talk about this particular scene where Loak puts the gun to his head. And what can I say other than I'm so glad he didn't go through with it, because obviously everybody loves him, bro. Like, nobody hates you, Loak. Especially me, I don't, but I mess with you. And Kiri and his girl end up finding him, end up talking to him and digging up his mother's bow, and he decides to fix it. And when we cut back over to the Colonel, this nigga, bro, it just pisses me off. He ends up going back to the Ash people, trying to get an agreement between them to work with one another to find Jake.
Drop him.
Asserted his dominance immediately, with them tweaking, trying to find where the bullet came from. But this woman literally just looked at the angle and already knows where bro is. Me personally, if I'm looking at a sniper gun and she's looking directly at me, I'm popping her head off, bro. I don't care. And she ends up taking this man inside to where his homie can't even see them, bro. This man is stupid, bro, in every sort of degree. And in this entire sequence, he just pisses me off even more, bro. Because y'all want to know what this man looks like? Bro, look!
You's a freaky ass nigga!
And he is out here talking about some, I'll give you guns, I'll give you comms, I'll give you RPGs, I'll give you all of this just to work with me. Brother, you're sick. You're a simp, bro. They got your ass on camera. Everything that you have said in the past 2 movies literally went out of the window just for you to get some pum-pum. Brother, you're sick. Every time I look at this man's face, I can't stand him. Get him off of my screen, bruh. And Loak ends up giving Neytiri the bow back after fixing it. And while she was holding it, she starts breaking down in tears after witnessing her son just do this. And after doing that, Loak ends up going on his own to find Payakan, but the kids also end up trying to go and find him, with the chief telling Jake. And Jake unfortunately has to stay behind to protect the people while they go and look for Loak. And I'ma just cut to Spider and Kitty. And remember that scene I asked y'all about earlier this video? I do not know about y'all, but this relationship was giving off siblings. I never saw any type of intimacy between them. I thought I clicked on the wrong website. What the hell happened? But while they were walking back, they end up getting surrounded with these people chasing them and them running away. But Spider ends up getting caught by the Colonel, and they end up taking him away. But literally 4 seconds later, the humans end up coming with their airships. And they land right in front of them, asking for Jake, with Jake coming out because if he didn't, they were about to burn this entire place down. And Jake ends up making a deal with the Colonel to give himself in for the safety of the people and his family. And they end up taking Jake back to their base. And all of them are out here celebrating, talking about some, we got him, people, we got Torokomakto. Like, yay, no, y'all are still gonna lose. And they end up doing all types of scans and tests on Spider, trying to find out what to do with this man and how they can replicate it. And while Jake was in his holding cell, the Colonel ends up coming to him and having a little chit chat. He's just spouting out nonsense, but I don't even want to say what he be talking about. By the way, if anybody thought that Neytiri was not gonna slime back for her man, you clearly haven't watched these movies, huh? Because she proceeds to slime these three out, take this key, which is her gateway to get through the base's defenses, paints herself in red and black, and manages to get into the base. And the camera pans over to the Colonel and... bro, you know what? Move on!
She wants me.
Who the fuck is this nigga? Bro, this man talking about some... She totally wants me. Nigga! But Neytiri ends up getting discovered with them chasing her down. But while she was flying away, she grabs her bow, shoots one of these things, causing a huge explosion and chaos. And you thought she would just stop at one? Haha, she said, here go one more for y'all. And in the midst of all this, we learn that Spider managed to escape. And this ginormous bulldozer comes out of nowhere with this marine biologist taking the side of Jake, coming to save him. With this man Jake running out of there with them trying to shoot at him, but he blocks the bullets and starts reversing out of there. And while they were running, he ends up telling Jake that the humans plan on taking out all of the Tulkun the day after tomorrow. And Jake ends up bumping into Spider, causing the humans to hold their fire just because of the fact that this man is way too precious for them. And Neytiri ends up coming out of nowhere, taking down the ship and taking them with her. And they managed to escape. But while they were flying, they end up landing with Neytiri and Jake getting into a conversation of what to do with Spider, because of the fact that Courage has a woman that can track them no matter where they go and interrogate everyone, and they'll give them their answers. And the fact that if they manage to duplicate what Spider has, they'll be able to breathe on Pandora and they will destroy everything here, just like what happened on Earth. And to all those people who are in my comments that say they stand with the humans, do you listen to this, bro? They literally destroyed their own planet. Now they're coming here to destroy this planet. What, like, why would you stand with something like that? But Jake ends up deciding that they have to kill Spider. And he grabs Neytiri's knife, grabs Spider, taking him into the forest, finds a spot and gets ready to off this man. But Neytiri ends up having a change of heart because of the fact that Spider went out of his way to save Jake. And Jake ends up not going through with it because he sees Spider as his own. With Neytiri also arriving, breathing a sigh of relief that he didn't go through with it, and he says,
I see you.
Absolute cinema. Now if anybody says that this is the best out of the trilogy, that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Can we take it slow? I be running out the back by the time they at the door. How you go behind my back? You supposed to be my bro. Fucked you this last night, but that's why I didn't know. Throw that on my name, they ain't know that I would grow. Take a trip to get the drugs, every time it's for the low. Says she wants some new shoes, sweater, so she care about. Brody rode away.